Okay, last video we created some columns. Let's just adjust the height of some of these. They're the top of these. We just want to bring down to there. Oops. I'm just double clicking remembers the last command we issued. So now all the columns are the same height. Let's hide the ceiling level, which is basically the floor above. Turn on the AutoCAD underlay. Now let's close this group. So we're still in section mode here. Okay, so we can save that scene as a section. Section through 12. Let's view, turn off section cuts. And if I turn on X-ray mode here, I can start to see how we can begin to devise a strategy for these openings. Now, we have what appear to be 3 gang windows next to each other, maybe 6 or 8 inches between them. Okay, imagine the sill. We can work from photographs, and let's imagine that I'm looking at a photograph looking toward one of those windows. Why imagine? We have some photographs, I'm sure. Have them elsewhere. 73 Tremont. Site photos. Let's just copy this folder over to our working folder here. And let's look at some of those representative windows. Have we got this up on the screen? Let's switch screen to entire screen, that one. And just close this one. Alright. So, what are we saying? That from here, can I draw on this? The height of that window, right, they go just to the underside of the ceiling. There's a drop ceiling in there. These are about 3 feet wide. There's 6 or 8 inches between the windows. And that sill, I'm guessing, is about 18 inches above the ground. So that's what I'm going to draw. But I could also gang together the entire thing. Well, let's see what the strategy is going to be. Okay. 3 windows. Let's set up a couple of guides here. There's a tool here. It allows me to set, if I decided 18 inches was the sill of the window, right? Now I'm going to set some vertical guides. And I'm going to snap to where the windows begin. And I'm going to snap to where the windows end. Oops. Let's see where I've drawn that guide. If the intersection gives me a face. Turn off X-ray. Okay, it drew outside the group, so I'm going to double click, open this group, and paste this in place. Edit, paste in place. Now this could be the opening for my window. If we want to refine that, let's turn X-ray back on. Okay. So that edge got to come out a little bit more. Take that edge and move it in this direction so that it aligns with that jam. Okay. So what I've done here is abbreviate the entire window opening. Okay, I can take that shape and copy it to other areas. Right? If I double click this and create a copy of it, say, imagine I use this as a starting point. Click, right? Another copy. Oops. Another copy there. Okay, just to give you an idea of what we can do with that, right? So I'm going to turn this X-ray off. That didn't work. That didn't work. Okay, let's not complicate this. So I'm going to take this and push it to the outside. So there, that created an opening in there. We are going to have to replicate that opening here and here. I'm just going to redraw it. So I'm going to select the lines that I drew. Whoops. Let's delete all of that. Select the lines. I can barely see it. Just deleting geometry that I drew before that was incorrect. Remember, the only area we're concerned with is this vicinity, because that's the area to which our intervention is going to be limited. So, let's create a guide, 18 inches from the floor. Let's create a guide, about 8 feet. Well, this would be 18 plus the window height's about 7 feet. So 84 plus 18, 94 into 96 inches. It's about where the top of the window is. And then we need one on this side, let's say 8 inches. And then on this side, 8 inches. And I think we can use that as the outline, the intersection of which is going to be, yeah, and that's what I want to use for my extrusion. Or we're going to push an opening to that outside edge. This window opens a bit too high, right? So let's adjust that downward. I'm going to do that by basically pulling the top until it lines up with that point. Okay, so those are our window openings. Now, I've actually modeled enough of the openings so that we can represent this interior space. This is south exposure, and light is going to be coming in through these two openings. For all intents and purposes, I could fill this with a giant piece of glass and make that a component and say, there's a typical, so there's a 3-gang that window. Let's turn X-ray back on. Okay, so these are wider windows than those. I haven't been inside this office, but I'm guessing that those windows are 4 feet wide. Okay. So if I wanted to model the glazing, let's just create a shape. That's the intersection of those points. Double click it, make it a group. Make it a group, yeah. Okay, and now this group, if I choose to fill with material, glass, this translucent glass, right, and close that group, I now have a group. Just for clarity's sake, let's select that thing, create a tag called glazing, and I'm going to take that group that's still selected and put it on a tag called glazing and close that group. Now, what does that allow me to do? Let me explain. Let's go back to this mode. If I turn off the CAD underlay, right, you can see that I've started the scaffold, the space that I want to represent. So I can model natural light that's coming through that window, right, based on what I know to be north, which is, well, this is a south exposure. We can set solar north to its correct position. Anyway, for now, let's create a second one of. Remember, this is a group within a group. So that glazing group, I'm going to duplicate it. Right? And groups don't have to be unique. In other words, if I modify this group, it's not going to change the instance of that one. So I'm just going to take this edge, move it to fill that space, and close that group. I could also take both these groups and move them toward the interior, right? Say we move them 6 inches. So now those two guys have an inset value of 6 inches. So what have I done in this video? I've begun glazing. Next video will show you how to set up the cameras and maybe look through those windows.